Hi, this is Lou from Lou's Antiques and Collectibles, and we buy and sell stuff for our two antique booths and our two antique malls. So we're going to go to the Step store today. This is kind of in the Downriver, Detroit area in Michigan. And I usually frequent this store, and it's one of those stores you can find a lot of good stuff and you can find nothing. You just never know. You just got to be a little bit lucky and when they're putting cool stuff out. So, of course, I'm digging through the jewelry, and I'm sorry if the camera's a little wanky because I was doing some serious shopping. Their jewelry is about $3.99 a piece. So there was some really nice pieces, but I have to think in my head that I have to triple those prices. So if I didn't feel like I could do that, I didn't purchase it. There's lots of plastic beads. Those do not sell for me at all. But that little owl was nice, and this was nice. I'm not sure why I didn't get this, because it's Tinkerbell, I believe, or some sort of a fairy. And that was super cute. Sometimes you watch these videos later and you think, what was I thinking? I should have bought that. But anyways, I didn't. So I kept looking in there and trying to find some goodies. I did find one time a silver chain in there with all kinds of sterling silver charms on it. So you never know. I might have one of those lucky days again. So they usually have 2 racks of jewelry. They have lots of jewelry at this store. And they're constantly changing things. It's very well shopped, so the merchandise doesn't linger around. It usually typically sells pretty quickly, especially if there's anything really unusual or really neat. So I dug through all the necklaces. Oh, that was like a nice little locket. The chain on it wasn't in very good shape though, and sometimes I don't have the right chain to replace it with. That was a little tarnished. So let's go to the next jewelry rack. And lots of colored jewelry and bracelets. I always got to take a look at those bracelets. You never know. There could be a Bakelite one in there one day. Or something really cool. So lots to look through. I kind of pick them up so I can see them all the way to the back. That was kind of neat. It's a neat gold piece. It looks kind of like maybe from the 60s or 70s. I wasn't sure on that. Didn't see any markings on that. Maybe it was newer than I thought. Anyways, I passed on that one. So the plastic bangles I don't typically buy because those just don't sell for me. But they really had a lot of neat things to go through today. And sometimes you even find some freshwater pearls when you see all that jewelry together. Ooh, turquoise is always good. That was kind of a nice piece. Don't know why I didn't buy that one, because that would have been good. Anything turquoise for me always sells good. There's another turquoise piece I kind of picked up. And that was a little like a lanyard type of thing. And glass beads too. I always look for colored glass beads. Those are really good sellers too when you're looking for jewelry. Anything very old, of course, is always good too. And I really had to search these racks, but I did not find any goodies. Now they have a whole rack of earrings. The earrings are typically more modern, and very seldom is there vintage ones on there. But I always take a look. You never know. Lots of cute stuff. This store is one of my favorite thrift stores. There's actually 3 in the area. There's one in Dearborn, and I believe there's one in Wayne area that we had actually focused on in a previous video. And they always have lots of furniture and lamps. And one time I bought 2 beautiful stained glass lamps here. And they were kind of pricey, but I did really good on those. But they just happened to come out when I was standing there. Otherwise, I never would have got them. That's a nice little dresser. Little side table. I'm not buying furniture as much. I'm trying to pick up less projects because I'm just too busy these days to do projects and paint furniture. So I'm typically looking for the smalls. That's where I do the best with. And this was in the fall of 2022. So, of course, there was lots of Christmas stuff out. And there was some old tablecloths. Lots of little porcelain and glass items. That was kind of cool, but that was modern. Kind of almost looks like a lava lamp, but with sparkles in it. I wasn't sure on that one. But it was awful modern looking. The plugs and that looked modern to me. So lots of cute little items to decorate your home with. And the purses. I always check out the purses here. And here it looks like a Vera Bradley, but you know what? It's not. You can tell by the tags and the zipper that that was not a Vera Bradley. I sure thought it was from afar. So I went right up to it, but boy, I was wrong. And I typically look for the evening bag type purses here. And I do quite well on those, like something like that. Something silver. And that was only $3. That wasn't bad. And a lot of times they have one color that is considered half off. So I always watch for the half off tags because their purses are not that expensive. And if it's half off, it's a really good deal. That was a nice older one. The latch was a little bit weird on it though. It was kind of hard to hook together. And let's see what else we can find in the purses. The crocheted one was pretty. Oh, here's a nice one. If I can get it off the rack. Looks like something silver with rhinestones. Sometimes it's quite an ordeal to get it off the rack, though. You have to do some finagling around, which I only have one hand because I got one hand on the camera. Oh, there it is. So I got to put all those back. Don't want to mess up their display. Ooh, this is nice. That's definitely a keeper. I'm definitely picking that one up. $3.99, and I believe it was half off. Nice rhinestones on the top. And a nice handle. Oh yeah, that's mine. Let's see what else we can find in here. Ooh, I like this vintage black one too. This one's really nice too. Super cute. Looks like to me maybe the 40s or 50s, maybe even possibly the 60s. If you know, leave it on the comment. Let me know how old you think that purse is. It's definitely older. I always check the inside, of course. And the inside looked really good. And the label was kind of interesting. It looked like something from France. So that is a keeper too. I definitely am going to keep this one and buy this one. And if you like what you're seeing, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And we're digging through the rest of the purses because you never know what's hiding up in these piles. Anything shiny. Ooh, that's a cute one too. Let's see. Anything gold or silver I like. Nice chain on it too. Very pretty. Pretty latch. I end up putting that one back. I think there was rhinestones missing on the latch, which I probably could have fixed. But I decided to move on. I did get a couple other purses, so I was pretty satisfied with what I got in that department. And here's another gold purse, but this one is too modern for me. So I end up passing on that one too. So, and here's the luggage, and here's some more purses they had out. And some bags. And this is where I find the most stuff, probably in the purses and the bags. Now they have all these shelves of all the housewares and home decor and stuff like that. And occasionally I find something here, but not always. I typically buy purses here. But you never know. You got to look in all areas. Now when they bring a card out, that's the newest stuff. And that's always good to look at too. That's a nice old piece of pressed glass. The clear is not selling for me that well, so sometimes I buy a clear and sometimes I pass on it because it just doesn't sell as well as the colored glass. And they had a chair and all kinds of, there was a bike and a glassware and a pretty plate, a Kennedy plate. That's pretty cool. Was a little bit too much for me though to make a profit on. Neat plate though. And we're looking through all these. There's lots of shelves to look at, so you got to make sure you really check everything out well. Sometimes I even walk around twice because a lot of times I miss it on the first round. And there's some pictures and tons of shoes. And there's some teapots, and serving pieces, and some glassware. There's a whole set of glassware, which would be nice if you needed it. And here's some more bowls and dishes. And the dish sets are nice, but they're kind of hard to sell, dish sets these days. And on the top of the clothing racks, you always got to look because they have these bag lots. And I did end up getting a couple of these bag lots because they look pretty good. And sometimes they're toys, sometimes they're purses like this. You never know. I think that they tend to bag lot things that are smaller. It's just easier for them. And you could pay $4 or $5 and get a whole bag full of stuff, which is pretty cool. So I did get a couple bags. But it takes time to look through it because you really got to peek around in there and see what's really in there. And they're sealed, so you don't really want to open them unless you have to. I'm sure they wouldn't mind, but they want to staple those back together. Lots of little purses in the bag lots today. Huh, you got a ping pong paddle. You never know. The last time I was there, they had bag lots of Beanie Babies. But this day was kind of cool because they had bag lots of the purses and things like that. Some interesting things. So it's always good to check them out. And they have these bag lots, like I said, on the top of the racks of clothing. But they also have them a lot of times on shelves in the back. Ooh, this one looks pretty nice. I like the looks of this one. I think this is a keeper. Very nice. Okay, we'll take a chance on that. I think we'll do okay with that one. So I really searched, debated whether to have it, but there was a lot of items in there. And I thought that was a good deal. I think it was $3.99. That was a good price. And sorry, my camera gets a little wanky here, but I'm hanging on to stuff and trying to tape myself and look at stuff at the same time. So I need about 5 more arms and I can do a little better. Let's see what else we got up here. I do look at the clothes. They do have pretty nice clothes when I'm looking for something in particular. So I usually check those out too, especially for vintage clothing, which is pretty hard to find these days. If you see vintage clothing and it's really reasonably priced, a couple bucks or something like that, pick it up. The vintage clothing is really hot sellers for our area. The people are really buying it, but it's getting harder and harder to find. And when I do find it, it's often the same price that I would put on it if I had it at the antique mall. So there's some toys on this side in the bag lots. And you gotta look at both sides. You never know what's in there. Oh, there's another bag of purses. Cool. Looks like some books. And we hit this whole section looking for the smalls in the bags. You definitely got to have patience and be able to dig through all this stuff to really find the good deals. That looks like a whole bag of doll clothes, or maybe it's baby clothes. Not sure. But when you buy an old doll and you don't have clothes for it, it's hard to find the right sizes and things for them, because a doll will always sell better if you have clothing on it, obviously. So sometimes I've bought bag lots just to have them on hand. And sometimes there's hats here too. I found the best hats, and I of course looking in the dresses for things for myself and for anything vintage looking. The dresses seem to sell the best for me, and I looked in the that was a pretty tablecloth, but it was vinyl. I like the pattern on that one. So we're going to go through all the finds that I got in this store this day in a couple seconds here. And we'll see what we got. And I paid only $11.05. I got this nice silver purse with the rhinestones on the top. This nice old one that I need to look up because it looks like it's from France. And then in that bag lot, I got quite a few items, but these are the best of it. I got the brown sequin. This is a nice old one. and a couple little old coin purses. And there also was just an assortment of other little wallety things that are kind of new but not worth a whole heck of a lot. This little lemon one is kind of cute. So anyways, that was a good trip. And this is Lou from Lou's Antiques saying goodbye and see you again. Bye.